All right, let's talk about something real for a second. You know the feeling. You open your math textbook, you're staring at a problem, and then it just happens. A total system crash. Your brain freezes solid, and all you can see is that mental blue screen of death. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, then you are in the right place. So many of us have this story we tell ourselves, right? I'm just bad at math. We've convinced ourselves that we're missing some kind of math gene. But what if I told you that's a complete and total myth? What if the problem isn't your brain at all, but the rule book you've been forced to play by?
Here's the core of the problem. You've been studying math like it's a history class. Just a long list of facts and dates to memorize. Well, that just doesn't work. Today, we're going to completely rewire that entire approach. I'm handing you the cheat codes to turn math from the subject you just have to get through into a puzzle game you can actually get good at and even enjoy.
So first, let's give that feeling an official name. We're going to call it the math blue screen. It's that moment of pure panic, that mental paralysis when a problem looks so impossible that your brain just shuts down. But you know what? Just being able to name it is the very first step to beating it for good. Okay, Lel 1, let's get right into it and talk about the single biggest mistake that's probably destroying your math grades: falling into the passive learning trap. This is hands down the most common reason students feel like they're studying for hours and hours, but seeing absolutely zero results. And this trap leads to something called the fluency illusion. It's this sneaky trick your brain plays on you. You'll look at a solved problem in the textbook, you nod along, and you think, oh yeah, that makes total sense. But here's the catch. You don't actually understand it. You just recognize it. You haven't really learned a thing. I mean, think about it like this. You wouldn't expect to become an Olympic swimmer just by binge-watching videos of Michael Phelps, right? Of course not. You have to actually get in the pool. Well, math is the exact same way. You can't learn it by watching from the sidelines. You have to jump in and do it. So starting right now, your pen is the controller to this game. If you aren't writing, you aren't playing. Simple as that. And here's the new rule of the game. You are not allowed to look at a solution until you have personally struggled with that problem by yourself for at least 15 minutes. Because that struggle, that's where the learning actually happens. And just like that, you've beaten the first boss, the passive learning trap. Excellent work. Now it's time to learn our first real cheat code. Welcome to level 2. For those questions that just feel completely and utterly impossible, we're going to use something I call the Sherlock Holmes Method. This is all about changing your mindset from, this is a chore, to, okay, this is a case that needs to be cracked. The method itself is pretty straightforward. It's got 3 steps. First, you gather the evidence. What information has the question given you? List out all your clues. Second, you identify your suspect. What exactly are you trying to find? Are you solving for X? Are you looking for the area? And third, you choose your weapon. Which formula or which concept is the bridge that connects your clues to your suspect?
Now, the power of this method isn't just about getting organized. It's literally neurological. See, when you look at a complex problem, your brain's fear center, the amygdala, can totally take over, and that's what leads to panic. But by breaking it down like a detective, you shift control over to your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain that handles logic and reason. You are literally switching your brain from panic mode into logic mode.
Fantastic. You've now got a seriously powerful tool for tackling any problem that comes your way. Your skill set is growing, so let's keep that momentum going and add another secret weapon to your arsenal. Okay, this next technique is the secret weapon of almost every single top student, but for some reason, very few people ever talk about it. It's called the mistake bank. The philosophy here is super simple. Average students just ignore their mistakes and move on, but smart students, they study them. So when you get a question wrong, don't just sigh and flip the page. You gotta analyze it. You need to figure out which of 3 categories your error falls into. Was it a simple calculation error? Like a silly mistake, 2 plus 2 equals 5. Was it a concept error where you used the completely wrong tool for the job? Or was it a logic error where you just froze up and had no clue where to even start? And here's what that looks like in the real world. You create a simple log. Note the question number, the type of error, a quick sentence on why you failed, and this is the most important part, what you're going to do to fix it next time. Seriously, reviewing this log before a test is one of the most powerful study habits you can possibly build. You're basically patching the bugs in your own system. All right, you are really becoming a pro at this. You know how to engage with the material, how to attack tough problems, and how to learn from failure. There's just one more level to go to complete your training.
So, the final level is all about building up your speed and learning to perform under pressure. Because let's be honest, exams aren't just about getting the right answer, they're about getting it done before time runs out. So, we're going to gamify your practice by entering speedrun mode.
Here's how it works. You set a timer for 20 minutes. The goal is simple. Solve as many problems or defeat as many enemies as you possibly can before that timer goes off. Don't stress about getting every single one perfect. The goal here is to get used to that feeling of exam pressure and build up your mental agility.
The real magic here, though, is what that timer does to your brain. That ticking clock creates this sense of urgency that literally forces you into a state of deep focus. There's no time to get distracted or check your phone. It's just you and the game, pushing you to work faster and smarter. So, let's bring all this home. When you put all these pieces together, you're doing something much bigger than just learning a few study tips. You are changing your fundamental relationship with math. It's not some boring list of rules. It's the language of the universe, this beautiful, logical system that's meant to be played with and explored, not just memorized. And with this new mindset, you have to stop being afraid of your mistakes. In fact, I want you to start loving them. Every single error you make is not a failure. It's just data. It's a little signpost that's telling you exactly what you need to work on to get to that next level.
So, what's it going to be? Is math some awful chore you have to suffer through? Or is it a game that you are learning how to win? That choice, that mindset, is entirely up to you. So if you're ready to stop being intimidated and start solving, then it's time to adopt this new identity. It's time to make math your game.